Hello again, friends, and welcome back to Suzanne Elizabeth's Kitchen. It's soup making time here in the Colorado Rockies, and so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make a cauliflower soup with cheddar, apple, and onion. I promise you this is going to be a wonderful soup that you're going to want to turn to time and again because it's incorporating just wonderful flavors. As you probably know, cauliflower by itself is pretty bland. However, it acts as a wonderful background to sharp flavors like this extra sharp cheddar that I'm going to be putting in there. And then what goes better with cheddar than the sweetness of an apple? So I'm going to combine those wonderful flavors into a soup. And that's the reason why I love making soup, is because you can combine really interesting flavors together and create something new. And so you have an absolute infinite variety of soups that you can make. So I'm going to start. Here's my little soup pan, and I've got just a little bit of olive oil in there, and I'm going to add a little bit of butter just so we can increase the, let's see, is this going to turn, yes, there we go. Just so we can increase the flavor, because butter is our friend. When you're cooking from scratch, in fact, I went in to see my doctor just this week, my oncologist, and she was remarking on how well I looked and the fact that I'd lost more weight, and that in my case, that's a good thing because I'm trying to lose about another 5 pounds to get down to my goal weight. And she said to me, "Suzanne, how did you do it?" And I said, "I'm not dieting at all. All I'm doing is cooking from scratch and just using whole foods, nothing processed, no processed foods. And I'm cooking, I'm not completely vegetarian. I would say I'm 75%. And I will never, that I anticipate, cut out all meat from my diet because I like meat. You know, Christmas is around the corner here, and I'm planning to serve a standing rib roast, you know, prime rib, and crab legs, you know. So my feeling is, I love red meat. I also love turkey and chicken, and I love seafood. So my feeling is, enjoy it, make it a special occasion, and then try to incorporate as many vegetable-based meals into your diet as possible. And you can do that by learning how to combine your favorite flavors, like we're doing in this soup. So now while the apple, onion, and cauliflower are sauteing, I'm going to go ahead and grate my cheese, because as you know, we like to buy a whole chunk of cheese and grate it ourselves because you get more value. A, you get more value for your money, and B, you get obviously a much wider variety of cheeses and a better quality of cheeses when you buy it in a big chunk like this. So please do that. Let's see. One of the other flavors we're going to add, and I'm staring at it right here, just powdered mustard seed. Dried mustard seed. You could also use, if you don't have any of that in the cupboard, use some Dijon mustard, and you could use both actually. All right, while this is, I'm going to turn this down a little bit so I don't burn anything, and I'm going to add my first layer of flavor, a couple pinches of salt, and then a good healthy pinch of pepper, black pepper, and just give this another turn. Now, you saw that I had both olive oil and butter. And the reason for that was, one, I love the flavor of the butter. However, adding the olive oil or another type of oil gives your oil, your fat, a higher smoke point so that you can saute without worrying that you're going to have burned butter. So that's your helpful hint for today. And back to what I was saying regarding butter. The reason I'm able to use butter is because when you're cooking with whole foods and you're not eating processed foods, you can pretty much eat what you want, you know, within reason. Because the point is that you're eating whole foods, you're eating non-processed foods, so the foods are themselves healthier. So that means that you can have butter because it's a healthy fat in moderation. And you're going to find that when you're cooking in this way, that you are you're cooking with less sugar, and the fats that you are eating are healthy fats. So you're going to find that, I promise you, you're going to find that you are losing weight in a natural, healthy, gradual way. It's not, you know, crazy diets that you go on for 10 days or a month and then, you know, a month later you've gained all the weight back. Do this, and I promise you and your family are going to enjoy eating more, and you're going to be eating healthier. All right, enough proselytizing. So, this is almost sauteed enough. Now, you know what we're going to do next. We're going to get out the nutmeg, because nutmeg will go beautifully with this extra sharp cheddar cheese that I have, and the apple, of course. And these flavors just really scream autumn soup, winter soup. And that's exactly what the season is. So let's just enjoy that and play up to those flavors. So we've got our nutmeg. Now I'm going to say about a good healthy teaspoon and add of the dried pepper, and add that in there. And as always, I'm going to tell you that that is not the end all and be all. I'm going to ask you to taste it later on and add more mustard later on. Add more salt or more pepper or more nutmeg once you get all your flavors in there. What I'm adding now is chicken stock. And this is my mother's homemade chicken stock. She is the queen of chicken stock. She makes it all the time. There is not a chicken or turkey that enters this house without becoming chicken stock at some point. I mean, she just loves it. So that's probably what I added there, is probably 4 to 5 cups, a quart and a half. And we're just going to we're going to turn that up a little bit so that it will melt. You saw it's just a big old solid brick of stock. And we're going to let that cook, and so that the cauliflower cooks and the other ingredients cook. Once they have finished, I will go back in and add my cheese, and I've got a good cup here, and I'll probably grate the rest of this, so I'll have a cup and a half. I'm going to put that in there. I'll probably add in a cup and a half, no, I'll probably add in 1 cup of half and half. You could also add in whole milk. Your choice. I wouldn't add in a low-fat milk just because it's too watery. Indulge in the 1 cup of whole milk or half and half because it's going to add such great flavor to this. Then you could either leave the cauliflower whole in these little bite-sized pieces, or get the magic immersion blender. 1 minute, let me show it to you. We're going to get the immersion blender, and once your cauliflower has really cooked down and it's really soft, using the immersion blender will not be a problem. You just, you know, like a little rowboat or motorboat. And then you're done. Adjust your seasonings again and serve. You're going to love it. With it, and this was a trick I learned from Supernatural Everyday. Hold on, let me get the cookbook so I can show it to you. 1 second. Oh, here it is. Okay. This is by Heidi Swanson, and when I first started cooking more vegetable-based dishes, this was one of the first books I got. And yes, I got it at the thrift store for $2. It's crazy, and I consider myself so lucky. Heidi Swanson, Supernatural Everyday. I love her cookbooks, and she's just wonderful. In fact, this recipe was inspired by, she has a recipe for cauliflower soup. I've changed it by adding the apple and the extra sharp cheddar. However, one thing that she calls for that I think is really brilliant is making croutons that have a mustard flavor. So you add in, you know, let's say butter and some Dijon mustard and coat the croutons with that and pop them in the oven for 10 to 15 minutes and add them as a topper on your cauliflower. It's wonderful. It really complements the mustard that you've put in here. Another thing you might want to try is in place of, let's say, 1.5 cups of the chicken stock, pour a beer in there. That would be delicious because, again, the beer with the sharp cheddar and the apple, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Another possibility, if you want a soup, if you're feeling like a soup and sandwich kind of meal, make a grilled cheese with sharp cheddar or with brie. I think I might actually make it with brie today. And that just brings me to the final little lesson on this, or final commentary on this soup, which is feel free to experiment with other cheeses. I'm using an extra sharp cheddar today because that's what I'm in the mood for. However, add brie, add Gouda, add blue cheese for that matter, because the cauliflower is such a, I don't want to say bland, but because it has this kind of bland flavor profile, you can add, you know, whatever you want and really just play with those flavors, make those flavors the star. So there you go. This soup will be ready in 15 minutes, and it's the perfect soup for a fall or winter day. So enjoy it. It's healthy. And I'll see you next time on Suzanne Elizabeth's Kitchen. Bye.